All right, let's finish up these Unit 1, Day 12 notes on statistically significant. I've been using that word significantly different, that kind of thing. So I've just kind of been throwing around that idea, and I haven't really talked about what exactly it means. So I want to go into that right now. This won't take too long, but I want you to understand what's happening. What is this statistically significant? Okay. So I think the best way to understand this is actually kind of look at a problem. So we're going to do this. So say we have an experiment and we are going to study the effects of advertising on eating behavior in children. And so a researcher started the experiment. He had 500 children. So the researcher randomly assigned the children to one of two treatment groups. The researcher put the names of the children in a bag, shake well, and pull out 250 to be assigned to the treatment group 1 and 250 be assigned to treatment group 2. So here's what those treatments are. Each child was asked, well, here's what happened. Each child was asked to watch a cartoon in a private room which contained a large bowl of goldfish crackers. The cartoon had two cartoon breaks, I should say two commercial breaks in there. The first group of children watched food commercials about snacks, while the second group of children watched non-food commercials such as games, entertainment products, and so on. Okay. Once the children were done watching the commercial, researchers then weighed the weight of goldfish crackers that was left, and so then they knew how much goldfish the children ate based on their particular cartoon and their commercial that they were viewing. The researchers found that the children in the commercial group ate an average of 10 grams more than the children. In the food commercial group. So, of course, the food commercial group children ate an average of 10 grams more than the children in the non food commercial group. All right. So, would you consider this 10 grams statistically significant? Do you consider that a lot? Well, the answer to that is I don't know. Okay. And that's what we need to talk about. What is a significant amount? So, to investigate this, we're going to consider the following simulated results. Let's say we take a different set of 500 children and each dot down here actually represents a child who was its own matched pair. Okay? And so the researchers had the children randomly assigned to the treatment groups 1 or 2, and then 1 week later, the children came in back and then completed the task in the other treatment group. All right, so that means each child ended up doing the food commercial situation, and then a week later, the non food commercial situation, or the reverse. Each dot below represents the results of the difference in the goldfish cracker weights. This was calculated by taking the weight of the goldfish each child ate while watching the food commercials, subtracting the weight of the goldfish eaten during the non. So we did the food commercial that number for each child minus that child's non-food commercial. So let's take a look at this chart and let's understand and put into words what each one of these dots means. Okay. For example, let's look at this dot here with a value of 0. Okay, so the dot with a value of 0 means that that child ate the same grams of goldfish crackers while watching the cartoon with the food commercials as with the cartoon with the non-food commercials. So, however much they ate, because they're different kinds of children with different kinds of appetites, however much they ate the same in both scenarios. Okay? Well, let's look at these ones here. This dot of a value of 6 means that the child ate 6 more grams while watching the food commercials than the non-food commercials. Okay, let's do the opposite, a negative number. So this dot of a -9 means the child ate 9 less grams of goldfish while watching the food commercial than the non-food commercial. Okay, so they actually ate less when they were watching food. So, as just to practice and make sure you understand, then I put here some ones for you to interpret. So, let's see how you do. Okay, so what would a child with a dot -3 mean? Okay, and that's a -3. So, 3 less grams of goldfish were consumed what? Eaten during the food commercial than with the non. See, it always does the subtracting the food minus the non-food. Okay. And a positive 10, 10 more grams were eaten during the food commercial than the non-food commercial. All right. So now that you kind of have the general gist of what this graph is saying, now let's take a look at this graph and discuss what of these results are statistically significant. Some of these are just naturally going to happen. Some of them are, whoa, extreme. So let's take a look. The key to understanding the idea of statistically significant is the is to know that and to acknowledge that the results from sample to sample are going to vary. Okay, all those kids are different, so they're going to naturally have different results. Okay, you're going to have 500 kids, and you could have 500 different measurements. All right, so this is called sampling variability. You get different data than me because of sampling variability. That's going to happen, but it'll be close to the center. There'll be sampling variability happens naturally, it's close to the center. And that a certain amount of sampling variability is supposed to happen. Okay? But in fact, we say that the results that occur simply because of randomness, because of who those children were, that is considered sampling variability. Now, however, results that are very unusual, so unusual that they are not just due to sampling variability. In this case, the results are not just happening because of the random children or whatever. They are happening because something more than just the nature of the children who were there. Okay? Those unusual results that got us sample results, those are statistically significant, and it might look like this. Okay? These and generally speaking, and we'll put more numbers to this later, but these extreme amounts, top 5% and the bottom 5% away from the center, those extreme 5%, those are unusual. Okay? So if we had results where we had this up here happening, then we would say, whoa, these children right here, these children were affected by the commercials. Okay? They were not just sampling variability. The treatment was doing something to these children. Okay? And so that's what we're interested in seeing. And so again, if you get these results in this section or this section, those are considered statistically significant. And these ones in the middle, that's just natural sampling variability because you get different data than me, close enough to the average. All right. In most studies, we do say that those sample results that had less than a 5% chance of occurring are statistically significant. We'll get much more into that at a later point. But again, in summary, statistically significant results are when the results that you got had to have occurred because of the treatment. They were very unlikely, they were extreme, that it was not just because of the kids you had. It was not because of chance or sampling variability. The extreme results showed that the treatment had a significant effect and impact on those subjects. Okay? All right. So I hope that kind of gives you a visual representation of what is happening with sampling variability and this statistically significant event.